Alright, welcome back to the build, everybody. In this video we are going to mount the shifter in the car right in that area, so stay tuned. Okay, so let's take a look at the shifter and the shifter mount bracket. So this is supplied by RCR or Superlite, and I will say this is simply gorgeous. This is a billet shifter. This is an optional product now. When I bought the car, if you purchased the Graziano completion kit, this was included at no extra cost. They do provide a standard shifter. This is far superior, and just having a gated shifter with the clicking is going to be really, really nice. Just a beautifully manufactured product. And then we have the mounting plate. So RCR provides this mounting plate, and sort of in typical fashion, this is designed to mount on the center spline in the chassis, but it offsets the shifter over to the right. And I guess it's set up that way because maybe it's a little more comfortable if you're building a race car. Basically, the center console is centered over the spline, so this winds up sticking out a couple inches off the side of the center console. In my case, it'll interfere with the passenger seat, so we'll reorient the shifter to be centered in the center console. All right, but anyway, we'll segue over to the chassis and I'll show you the next step. Okay, so I marked really where I want the shifter to go between those two masking tape lines. So I'm going to cut a section of the center tub out. That will expose this center spline, the aluminum frame spline, and then we could at least get a look at and see where the or how the shifter mounts. Okay, well, to cut the fiberglass, I picked up this tool. This is an oscillating tool, and it's a cutter and a sander. This one's a Dremel tool. I always get my Dremel products on eBay. There's a reseller called, I think they're called Tools Plus, and they sell these refurbished or reconditioned products, so they're refurbished by the factory. You probably get about a 30% discount, and they work perfectly. So, it comes with all the accessories. So anyway, I learned about this product on one of my favorite channels called Builder Creator. And what's nice about this tool is when it cuts the fiberglass, it keeps the dust down, and it actually cuts very, very neatly, very cleanly, without a lot of dust, so that's sort of nice. All right, so I'm going to shave off the top of that area to expose the spline, and then I'll figure out how deep I need to cut it. Okay, I've exposed the spline. You can see sort of the taper of this center section here, so I've got to do a little more trimming, but the length is good, so we'll trim that up and then we'll take a look at the shifter on the spline. Okay, that tool made quick work of that. Let's get the bracket on and we'll take a look. Okay, well, first glance of the shifter in place. Man, that shifter is nice looking. Definitely got some fitment issues here, no doubt about it. Because that shifter is offset to the right, and I have the passenger seat pretty far inboard to clear the side impact bar, the seat actually hits the shifter, so that shifter has to be centered on the spline. And then the other issue is, how far aft do I want to move the shifter? Right now it's too close to the dashboard, but when I move it over and center it, it may be better. My sense is after I center it, I'll probably move it back an inch, maybe two. I get the seat in the car and just double check the fitment for myself. But anyway, let's modify the bracket and then we'll take a look. All right, I figured I'd show this. So I cut this tab off. This was really located 2 inches from the opposite side. I'm going to cut this off with the mill. I was thinking of reusing this, but then, you know what, I figured I'll make a dual one to match the one on this side. So anyway, I built this jig. It spaces it out exactly 3.25 inches. Then I'll tack weld this. Then I'll cut this one off, and then I'll put a 2-inch tube in between and then reattach it and then tack this one up. And it should be good. All right, well, I'm done welding. Welding is not my thing. I'm good at tacking, not so good at welding. But anyway, these came out okay. Let's see. We'll take it off and we'll see if the tabs are straight up and down, which they should be. And then we'll take a look at it in the car. Okay, there she is. All done being welded. Perfectly perpendicular. Look at that. And that's what that block and screwing them in holds it so it doesn't, what they call card. So the heat wants it to move. But anyway, it's pretty good. Not the best welding, but certainly good enough. Okay, making some progress here. I got the seat temporarily anchored in with some bolts loosely. But anyway, it does fit. I mean, candidly, I probably would want a little more room than that, but what are you going to do? Let's see. Centering the shifter certainly is better now, so I won't hit my hand on the dashboard. But realistically, I think I'm going to move this back at least an inch, maybe 2 inches, and that'll give me some more room for the dashboard buttons that I want to mount under the center binnacle. All right, so I'm going to cut that away and we'll figure out where we'll take this video. All right, well, I think I've got it. I trimmed a little bit more of the center interior tub away. Turns out I moved it back about 1.5 inches, and that'll do the trick. A little farther rearward. I got to press my elbow into my body to bring the gear back. I don't like that. Any further forward will sort of interfere with some of the buttons I want to add to the bottom of that center binnacle. So I think this is good. Where I had it, I literally had to stretch my arm probably a bit too much to get to 5th gear. All right, let's see. We'll do one more segment, and that'll be from the driver's side. Okay, well, I think we're going to call it a wrap here. Here's the tilt seat. Just really nice. That's sort of the layout. Give you a sense for how things are laid out, the distance between everything. Definitely have room between the shifter and the seat. That's nice. And it's all lined up. I mean, everything's just lined up to be comfortable. But anyway, I was thinking about doing the shifter cable install on this video, but I really like to keep these videos around, 6-7 minutes. So a follow-on video will be installing the shifter cables. Okay, but anyway, I've got some room to play around with that shifter plate. I can move that back and forth a little bit if I need to tweak it, but I think I'm good where it is. Okay, well anyway, thanks for watching and take care.